William Rapfogel. I'm the Chief Executive of the Metropolitan Council on Jewish Poverty, also known as Met Council. Surprisingly, in New York City, there are a lot more poor Jews and needy Jews than anyone would ever imagine. In the study that's just been released, more than 330,000 Jews living in New York live at or below the federal poverty level. Another 175,000 Jews live in what we call near poverty or working poverty. That's about half the Jewish population. A little over 1 million Jews live in New York City, and half of that, 500,000, are in poverty or near poverty. For many of these people, they're elderly people that don't have many choices. There are many large families of Haredim. There are many people who are also a population that we call Jews that we've been in denial about. Jews that are single-parent households, victims of domestic violence, children at risk, teenagers who leave home. Then there's also substance abusers. We have people in the Jewish community who have been on drugs or alcohol abusers. And these are people for many years that our parents and our grandparents said, we don't have this problem in the Jewish community. And we do.
Why do you have so many different services?
We believe strongly that to help somebody become independent, you have to pile on the services. So if a family comes to us and they say, we're in danger of being evicted from our home, it's not just about, okay, you're going to be evicted from your home, let's help you pay the money to prevent the eviction. That would be very nice, but in 2 months they'll be back saying again, we're going to be evicted from our home. What we want to find out is that we can help them find another job. We can help them get training for a better job. We can help them if they take care of their elderly parents. We can provide home care for their elderly parents. If they have a child that's disabled, we can help advocate for that child to get them into the right school or right program to take care of them. So we're able to pile these programs on. We'll be able to provide them with kosher food so that instead of going and spending $150 at the grocery, they'll get the food from us while they're doing the training, while we're caring for the elderly parent.
Wouldn't it be easy to focus on one issue?
It would be easy to focus on one issue, and some would say it would be easier for us to fundraise if we only gave out food or if we only did training. But the reality is we're helping the clients more by being more comprehensive and giving a lot of services. What distinguishes Met Council, in addition to the fact that we provide very comprehensive services, and it's not just the housing, the home care, the social services, the job training, and so on, where we add them all together, we also are very different because we have a network of 25 Jewish community councils based in neighborhoods where there are needy Jews. And as a result of them doing outreach on a regular basis, more than 80% of our clients are Jewish. So by virtue of our concentration and focus on those who are Jewish and needy, we won't turn somebody away if they're not Jewish, but our marketing and our outreach effort is focused on needy Jews. With Met Council, people can come and apply for our housing, and if they're applying for our housing, we begin to do an evaluation for them even before the housing is ready. We want to know what their problem is, what their issue is. We obviously want to make sure that they qualify for our housing, because there are many housing projects that we build that have different income levels. So we have people who may be eligible for one housing project and not eligible for another. And many of those people are all eligible for food stamps, for Section 8 rent subsidies, and if they're a family, for child care. And we want to make sure that they're getting those services as well. So even if they come in through our housing program, we're checking them for those services. If somebody comes in to be trained, for example, to be an emergency medical technician, we want to find out what other skills they have to see if there's a way to help them get a job while they're in training. We also want to find out about their family situation. If they have a spouse that needs help getting a job, we want to get them in, even if they didn't ask for it. The idea is there's no wrong door for anybody to come to Met Council, and we will expand that door so that we bring in their family, their elderly parents, if we can provide home care or get them an application for our housing. We want to keep building on what we do to do more for that family and that individual. Met Council really prides itself on a tradition that Kol Yisrael Arevim Zel Lezeh, that each and every one of us has a deep and abiding responsibility for one another. Our motto is tzedakah u'gemilah chasadim, acts of charity, deeds of kindness. And in the Jewish world, tzedakah is not really something that's optional. It's compulsory. People are required to give tzedakah. But the question is how they give tzedakah and how they make it meaningful. With Met Council, the understanding is they are getting that tzedakah to help people. And fundamentally, it's to help people do two things. Even though we have many programs, number one is to help people become independent. Wherever possible, we want them to be independent, that they don't need us. But there are a lot of old, frail people who are not going to become independent. There are families with children, and those children prevent them from being independent. We want to help them improve their quality of life. So for them, it's about improving their quality of life. And people can truly make that difference. But people can also refer clients to us. If somebody knows of a neighbor, somebody in their shul who's experiencing hard times, we want them to refer them to us. And there are ways we've actually trained rabbis and rebbitzins in programs so that they can see if there's difficulty going on in a household, because people don't necessarily come and volunteer that information. So you have a family where for many years they were members of a shul and they dress meticulously, their clothes are clean, their pants are creased, their shoes are shined. And for a couple of weeks running, a rabbi notices that they don't look so neat. And rabbis have told us that they have a hard time going over to a congregant and saying something wrong. And so in those cases, we've worked with the rabbis, and sometimes the president of the shul, sometimes it's somebody else in the shul, a gabbai or somebody else, who will volunteer to go over and talk to the family so that they can refer them to us. And we've had hundreds of people refer to us throughout the metropolitan area from a whole range of shuls across New York City and even in Nassau County and Westchester County, where people have been under those circumstances. They lost jobs, their businesses went under, all kinds of difficulty, and they're embarrassed. In some cases, people are embarrassed to tell their families. There are some people who had gone, like they would go to the office, get on a train, and go sit in the coffee shop for half a day while they're looking for jobs, while they're going for an interview, but they were so embarrassed they couldn't tell their family. In other cases, we've had people come in and meet with us. In one instance, I remember a rabbi calling me up and saying, do me a favor, this was shortly after the financial collapse in 2008. Could you spend some time with this couple? They were very important members of my shul. They've had a string of bad luck. Maybe you can help them. And so before we took them to the career counselor and to the social worker, the head of crisis intervention here and myself met with the couple. And they went through, they were very proud, they outlined their budget, what they had now as income, what they had before as income, and what their expenses were. And in that budget, our crisis intervention director looked at the budget, and they were $600 short. They were actually $600 ahead. And she said, you seem to be okay. You don't really have a problem because I see, based on this, you have $600 left over at the end of the month. And they say, I don't understand. We don't realize where the money is, but we don't end up having $600 at the end of the month. And she was looking it over and she said, I see you have nothing listed here for telephones, whether it be cell phones or regular telephones, nothing for internet, and nothing for cable TV. And then very sheepishly and embarrassed, the couple admitted that they in fact not only had cable TV and cell phones and internet, but they had the top quality internet. They had 7 TVs, all with DVRs to record, with every sports channel and every movie channel. And they neglected to remove that when they had a bad time. And so, we were able to help by immediately knocking off about $400 of their bill, and they got basic cable TV for $29.95 at the time. But those are the kinds of things we learned, that people are not financially literate in the sense of putting together a budget. For many people who are middle-class people and who are doing okay, they don't do a budget. They have money coming in and they write the checks and money going out. They don't sit and think about how much am I going to save. And that's the other challenge. We try to encourage and try to help people. We do classes with financial literacy so that people are taught that they have to save. Even if it's putting $10 away every pay period, if they can't afford more, put something away. They have to do something. We also teach people that if their employer, no matter how little they may be making, if their employer has a matching program for a retirement account, to take advantage of it. Even if they put away very little and their employer matches it, their taxing situation will be better, and they'll have that money as they get older. Because, again, we said before, people are living longer. People have greater needs as they live longer. If they don't start putting away money now, they're never going to have it. So that's a real challenge. And as we talk about the number of Jews who are living in poverty in New York, 500,000 Jews living in or near poverty in New York. There are other cities around the country, Los Angeles, Chicago, Baltimore, Miami, where there are significant numbers of Jews living in or near poverty. And I think what we need to do as a Jewish community is to really begin to take the responsibility to advocate nationally the way we advocated to rescue Soviet Jews years ago. Because the truth is, people who are poor, who are near poor, who are really living and struggling with need every day, are prisoners too. We say every day, 3 times and 4 times on Shabbos, Mater Asurim. We want to free the hostages. These people who can't pay rent, can't buy clothing for their children, can't put food on the table, they're hostages in their own way as well. Met Council is here to help people. We are in New York City. We help New Yorkers. We hope there are other organizations around the country and elsewhere who are able to help people. But we want to help you help others as well. So you can help people by referring clients to Met Council, people who might otherwise not want to go to an organization that helps people, but we will protect their anonymity, ensure they have dignity, and take good care of them. We can also help you help them if you want to donate money. You can also advocate by going to members of Congress, the state legislature, and the city council on behalf of the programs that help serve these people. You can also go to our website, www.metcouncil.org, or call us at 212-453-9500.